last week we started with the naming of alkanes, and I took time to take you through some alkanes and how they are named. This morning, let's go through it again and use that as a basis for today's lesson. We said last week that an alkane with carbon number 1 has a prefix meth. Then the suffix is ane. So when you add meth and the ane together, you have methane. When you come to carbon number 2, it is eth. Then the suffix, as usual, is ane. When you add the two together, you have ethane. And you continue till you get to carbon number 10. We want to use this as the basis to name this particular alkane that I'm going to put on the board. So look on the board and don't talk. Good. Now, consider this alkane. We call this the expanded form. You can do it in the condensed form. This is how it is done. You write a C here, count the number of hydrogen atoms, 1, 2, 3. So CH3. Then you have C here, H is here. Then you have another C, 1, 2, 3. Then you have C here, H2. Another C here, 1, 2, 3, H3. I hope you are wondering why we didn't just leave it at CH, maybe 2. Then we have CH3 here. We call that a substituent. A substituent, let me number the following compounds. They are the same anyway, but we want to consider the very first one. Then here becomes the substituent. This is CH3. Substituent. Class 8 substituent. A substituent is a branch. When you liken it to the case of a tree, you have the main tree and you have the branch. So when you want to name this compound, especially the number 1, you can start counting from left to right. So 1, numbering from left to right, 2, 3, 4. Then you number from right to left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the substituent and the number, you will use a hyphen to differentiate it. Then for 2 numbers, you use a comma. So in our case, count the total number of carbon atoms, the longest continuous carbon chain. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So obviously, the longest continuous carbon chain is carbon number 4. And carbon number 4, when you look on your table, is butane. That is the name of the parent hydrocarbon. So you write it butane. In the parlance of human beings, you can say the surname or the family name. So it's butane. Then the substituent or the branch, you give preference to the least number. So from left to right is on carbon number 2. But from right to left is on carbon number 3. So obviously, you go for carbon number 2. So you say 2. And I've reiterated it time without number there. Between the number and the alkyl group, you use a hyphen. So hyphen, methyl, then you add the parent name. So in conclusion, anytime you are asked to name an alkane, count the longest continuous carbon chain, identify it. If it's 4, that is butane. You consider the substituent. It is an alkyl group, a methyl group on carbon number 2. So it becomes 2-methyl-butane. Go through it, and then next week you will meet again and continue. Bye-bye.